Greetings everyone, this is your girl laSage coming through with another video. Today the topic is going to be about root chakra energy.
Express myself, caress myself, love myself, not depend on anything outside of me to validate me. I just wanna be. Let me be.
There are so many topics we can discuss regarding the root chakra, but in this video I'm pretty much going to touch on the general basics of it, and then in subsequent videos I'll talk more about the different parts and break it down. Root chakra in the physical sense, they're associated with like the testes, the genital area, things like that. It represents energetically, it represents grounding, security, stabilization, safety, things like that. Right now, the air is screaming root chakra imbalance. Like the energy of it all. Like even with the, you know, COVID-19 or what COVID-19 or whatever people call it or whatever. Even with that, it's creating more of an energetic pandemic than anything. And people, it creates a state of fear. It puts people in a state of just they don't know if they're safe. And when you take away people's safety, they start to become more imbalanced and they get into their more primal characteristics, and they start to you start to see sides of people that you normally wouldn't see. You know, they wouldn't show themselves as that person because they weren't triggered. They weren't feeling like their security was at stake. And what happens is you start when you're not grounded, when you're feeling like imbalanced or anything like that, you start having health issues, you start having money issues, you start, even things like, you'd be surprised, like when people's houses are getting broken into and things like that. That's an energetic thing happening there. And everything that is going on in your life is an energetic root. Like, for example, if you didn't get your needs met as a child and you were constantly, like, your family maybe grown up, you may have grown up poor. Some people grew up poor, didn't know they were poor. But a lot of people, when they grew up poor, they knew they were poor, their needs weren't met, they were always afraid that their needs would not be met, and that came into adulthood, right? And now they're afraid that their needs won't get met, so they move through life in fear. So therefore they make decisions in fear. And so therefore they attract what they fear. It manifests. They manifested it in their mind by constantly believing and knowing and thinking that their needs are not going to be met, because that is what they were conditioned to believe. In the world, your needs aren't going to get met. So if that's an issue, you have to start to find ways to ground yourself and affirm to yourself that your needs are going to be met, that your needs are already met, that actually the fact of you attracting the thing that's happening that's causing your needs not to be met is your power showing itself that that you believed so much that your needs weren't going to get met, that your needs didn't get met, right? And they continuously don't. But when you look at it the other way and you're like, okay, well, if I can attract things by thinking that my needs won't get met, then what's the harm in believing that my needs will get met? And it's like, oh, you might be thinking, oh, I don't think I can convince myself. I can't lie to myself and say my needs are going to get met if they've never been met, if they never get met. But when you look at the evidence in your life, there are times when the energy has shown up where you weren't always thinking that your needs wouldn't get met, and they actually got met. But because you were afraid they wouldn't continue getting met, then those things started dwindling away. And you started pushing those things away from you because you weren't grateful for the things that were meeting your needs, that were coming into your life, right? And so you have to affirm to yourself and also understand your relationship with the divine energy, with source energy. You have to understand your relationship with your inner guru, because what happens is that when you start to understand your relationship with your inner guru and your power that you possess, you can then start attracting. You make yourself a clear channel, and at the end of the video, if you stay to the end of the video, I'm going to send Reiki on your root chakra. I'm going to send healing. So just stay tuned, but I want to definitely talk about the energy first. And the energy that you're putting out there, you can always change it. Your mind is very powerful. There have been studies, and I know you've heard this before, there have been studies that have proven the power of your mind. Like, they've hooked athletes up to machines that monitor their brainwave activity, and the same brainwave activity that's happening when they're actually completing the sport is the same when they're thinking about doing the same actions that it takes for that sport to happen. So when you're living in the past because when you were younger your needs weren't getting met, that was only an opportunity for you to be able to see the opposite of who you are, of the abundance that is yours, so that you can then start seeing the abundance that is yours. You thought that your needs weren't going to be met, right? Because your needs weren't met. But then that made you focus so much more on the opposite. You know, you may be more practical now. You may be like more wanting to do things A, B, and C. And you're not necessarily trusting your spirit to help you bring those things through, right? You're not trusting it. But because your needs weren't met, it pushed you to the other side. So now you have this whole spectrum to look at, because first you were imbalanced in this way, then you became imbalanced in the other direction, right? So the key is to sit somewhere in the middle of the spectrum. And now that you're over here, you're worried about practicality and you're worried about all these things. If financially you're gonna have what you need, if you're gonna have what you need in your relationship, you're gonna have what you need, you know, and love that you need, whatever it is that you lacked, whatever needs that you lacked growing up, it's gonna push you to the other side, right? So you'll get to have a full perception. And the key is having full perception. You want to have full perception. You want to be able to see both sides of it so that you can know how to balance it and be somewhere here in the middle. Because the more perceptive you are, the more your consciousness expands, and the more opportunities you have for greater love, for greater joy, for greater truth, greater bliss. The more opportunities you have come only when you have more perception. But when you have a limited perspective, this is your only perspective over here, or this is your only perspective over here, you don't have any reference point. You only have this one reference point. But this experience gave you the opportunity to experience more. So look at it as a blessing. If you didn't get your needs met growing up, look at it as a blessing. Okay? Now, let's focus on, okay, my needs will be met. I deserve to have my needs met. I am loved. I am supported. I am always safe. I claim a healthy body. I am grounded. My future and my now is financially secure. Okay? I am abundant. Money flows to me. My needs are met. I am a divine being of light. I am safe. I am protected. I am secure. I reclaim my energy. I reclaim my power. I reclaim my energetic footprint, right? I claim it. I claim my power to create. I am abundant. My home is safe. My home is secure. The universe will always have my back. The universe will always provide. You were not born so that you can suffer, okay? Suffering happens in the experience as we're remembering who we are. But suffering, you were not born to suffer. You were born to experience bliss, joy, and the highest form of energy, which is love. That has also been scientifically proven. You can literally send love into something and change the makeup of it and transcend it. Okay? What I want you to do with that is seeing how love works. You can actually get a rice jar. Cook some rice. Get 2 jars. Label 1 love and 1 hate. Okay? Put them on at least 12 feet apart, right? Every day for 30 days or whatever, 30 days I would suggest. You tell the love jar you love it, all these positive things, and you tell the rice hate jar that you hate it and all these negative things. And I just want you to watch and see what happens to the rice over time. I started seeing results around day 10 or 14 or something like that, and it is amazing to see what energy does. I did this experiment with my daughter, and so I remind her that her words have power. And so that's what I want you to know today, is that your words have power. Your thoughts and feelings have power. So when you're not grounded in who you are, meaning you're not grounded in your nature, your truest nature of who you are, then how can you then expect the energy to bring you the things that you don't believe are yours, that you don't believe you deserve? Because you're telling the universe, I am not worthy. I am a sinner. I am not worthy. That person's not worthy either. So you're walking around judging people. You're not even understanding that your judgments are because of your lack of perception, because of your lack of getting your needs met. You guys get here and you judge celebrities like they aren't humans, like they're robots, like they aren't receiving your energy. They have a responsibility to work even harder to protect their energy just because so much is coming at them. You don't have to do that as much, but you still have to do it. Those of you who are in environments where you have work environments where you're around people all day, or you have a family, or you're an entrepreneur and you deal with people, you're going to come into certain energies. And there's a way for you to be able to transcend those energies, right? That's another video as well. I have a little chart, because sometimes, and this might be good for you, you could probably go online or something. This was actually a gift to me. You can go online and find charts. Look up chakra energy charts, but today we're talking about root energy. And so it has on here, it talks about it's located at the base of the spine, right? And the primal function, the main issue, is grounding and security, and survival, primal energy, taking care of self and others. And then the divine principle, the goal is simplicity and basics, stability, self-preservation, awakening, and primal instincts. Okay. And then physical properties, sense is anxiety, dyslexia, grounding in physical plane. Okay. So it also has smell down here at the bottom. It has anatomical connections like the glands, um, reproductive system, sex, taste, vagina, pelvis, legs, feet, and tailbone. And it's connected with the adrenals. And the emotional connections is the physical needs, which is a base needs of safety and security, being grounded, behavior, security, and fear. And then I think it's cool because it has like the elements that's attached to it. So if you want to like bring in certain types of root energy, then like the planet is Saturn, the element is Earth, the aromatherapy, maybe you can put some cinnamon on, burn cinnamon oil, boil some cinnamon in some water, and your house will be smelling like cinnamon. The metal is lead, and it just keeps going. Like the incense is myrrh. I know a lot of people have heard of like frankincense and myrrh or whatever. The fragrance is cedar, angel, ariel. Food, protein, so grounding, meat, it grounds you. Um, Other things have proteins in it as well if you're not a meat eater. Gemstones, hematite, and bloodstone. And so on the back, it has this picture, okay? And so it identifies the different, and it also talks more about it too. It says relates to the root center relates to the earth element, governs all elimination, the survival instinct, the emotion, fear. So doing a detox, focusing on things like, just focusing on things that will ground you, but don't get completely so far into being grounded that you're not allowing yourself to receive divine energy, right? And you're closing yourself off to it. You want to remain an open vessel. You want to remain an open vessel to the divine source energy, okay? It says here, like, the first chakra is the lower and most dense chakra, okay? And I went to a friend of mine's. Uh, it was a class, and they talked about the thought. They called the energy, the chakras, thought centers. I thought that was really cool because thought centers really identify really what it is. They say you have the different chakra points at the different that are associated with different parts of your body, right? If you just look at it as a thought center, like this particular chakra, it focuses on these particular thoughts, this particular consciousness, right? So if there's a mass fear consciousness going on, such as the pandemic, then those are the thoughts you're going to bring it that are going to bombard your mind. They're going to be like, oh my God, you're going to be, oh, they keep coming. They won't stop coming. What's going on? So you definitely want to pay attention to the kind of thoughts you're receiving. So if you're out and all you think about is you're afraid of catching something or you're afraid that somebody might breathe on you wrong, or you're afraid to smile at people because they might shoot you, depending on where you are, you're afraid to wear certain colors, you're afraid to spend money, you're afraid to, whatever, you're afraid to get into, to trust people, to be in relationships, you're afraid. And these thoughts, more thoughts are going to come that are attracted to that particular thought center. So these root issues that, you're afraid you're going to be kicked out of somewhere, or you're afraid that at any point the rug can be pulled under you, that is not a state that you want to exist in, okay? That is a state you want to transcend immediately. And so you can always go get a Reiki healing. Energy knows no bounds. It is not restricted by distance. It's not restricted. Energy goes where it needs to. It flows. And as a Reiki practitioner, I allow myself to be a vessel for that energy. So I will go ahead and end this video, and I'm going to offer Reiki energy to you to assist you in healing your root chakra, okay? So I want you to just remain in the video, and I want you to just sit quietly and put yourself into receiving mode. Allow yourself to receive. Just relax. I send you love. Go drink water. If you were open to receiving this energy, you have received it. You don't have to worry about if you did or not. It affects different people. But if you made it to the end of this video, you were able to allow yourself to receive, your soul is thankful to you. I love you. Go be great, my conscious co-creators. And remember, you manifest in your mind first. Be it. Then you do it. And then you'll have it in the physical. I am so thankful to your soul that you made it to the end of this video. As you know, I am an advocate for following the inner guru, okay? So if your inner guru is guiding you to set up a more personalized session with me, one-on-one, then you do that. Don't hesitate. Go to ahealersplayground.com and you can set up a Reiki energy healing session, hypnotherapy session. We can do a personal clarity reading or full spiritual advisement session. Either way, go on there, choose. You can also purchase my book at booksbylasage.com. You can also go to Amazon. It's called Don't Fuck Yourself, Love Yourself, and it's under LaDonna Banfield. Thank you for your time. I love you. Go be great. And remember to always follow your inner guru over whatever anybody else says. Peace.